everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Steelers going up against the Browns. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, it's the Thursday opener for the new NFL season between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, nice move. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This is caught by Antonio Brown. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. A good safe pass. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. Oh, what a move. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And trotting out there leading them is their fourth-year quarterback. They go play action here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. Okay, Charles, who are you picking to highlight here as we show the starters for the Cleveland Browns?
I like how you said highlight, because I'm going to go with Isaiah Crowell, the running back, because if you go back to his high school days, he was in the spotlight. Actually announced he was going to the University of Georgia holding up a bulldog puppy. Didn't work out there. Went to Alabama State and had a nice career. Undrafted, unheralded, and had a really nice year in 2015, so he's trying to bring the spotlight back.
Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Cameron Hayward is a defensive lineman, but many of us, especially guys of my vintage, remember his father, Craig Ironhead Hayward, who was a running back. I think Cameron decided he'd rather hit people than be hit. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Looking to throw. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And a gain there of 11 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. And that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. In a 3-4 defense there and against the run, a lot of responsibility can fall on that nose tackle.
A ton of responsibility, no pun intended, because they got to deal with not just the center, both guards, and a lot of times they have to eat up double teams in order to let the rest of the guys get to the football. But how about that play? You not only did he eat up the double team, he ate up the ball carrier as well.
I was going to say, talking about puns, you said eat up the double team. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon, 70 yards. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. What a spin. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. So here are the Steelers backed up to start their initial drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
This is such a good read defensively. They know that this offense is going to try to get the ball to their playmaker in space. So what do? They crowd him and send bodies at him. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He was looking for Devin Smith that time, and now it's second down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up a throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys. Because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first.
the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. They begin with a run by Crowell. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
A first down carry now for Crowell. And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. Under a minute to go, clock running at a back-and-forth first quarter of play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Finding time. Going up top. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 52 yards. And the Browns add on to their lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go...
Drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
That's complete. It's Gordon. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On play action, they'll throw. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker. Complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Back to throw here. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and it'll make it second down. Second down now after the pass completion. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
The open man is Smith. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Devin Smith, 30 yards. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Offense will head back out there, already in excellent field position thanks to the interception. Now a handoff to Crowell. Ooh, with a juke. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Gets it to Gordon. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Browns add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
With a little over 2 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter, the offense gets ready to take over. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Crowell. Oh, look at the juke. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. 2nd down following the run.
Watch left. Tight end to the left. All right, here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Smith catches left side. And he's brought down after a good gain. A very solid gain of 27. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks, and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll come out in the pistol. Now they'll switch it up here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Terrell Pryor as the first half is winding down, and the Browns are pouring it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he...
This offense ready to get back out there as they'll have the football to start the third quarter. Second half begins with a run by Crowell. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second down, here's Crowell. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. After the penalty, it's Crowell. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. So the offense needing 4 yards. It's third down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. 6 yards here to go for the offense on second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So the offense has it first and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it. Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers. Now, on that play, that's exactly what they did. They batted it away.
And that field goal caps at 11. So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line. This is Crowell. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up the first down.
Now it's Crowell. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll run the option left. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. He'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
Holding offense.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And there. So this offense will head back out there. Already in excellent field position thanks to the interception. They'll try and run for it with Crowell. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that.
But Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want big.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Isaiah Crowell taking it in. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear that?
It's not scale.
After a good punt, this offense will start with tough field position inside the 10. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. That's a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They juked him. Still on his feet. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. So it'll be first down here after the run.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that plan any down.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's a give to Crowell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll try to run for it with Crowell. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. We drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. On the run, it's Crowell. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3 yards to go on 2nd down. Again, it's Crowell. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a gain of a yard there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Let's go. On 3rd down, Crowell. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this... Drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel down form.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp, fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Browns, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Browns.